Welcome to the StockMiner.com studios here in the Black Hills of South Dakota. I'm your stock miner, Brian Johnson, and I'm making professional trading simple. Had a consolidation day today, moved basically sideways, similar to what we saw yesterday. Yesterday we saw a little move down, or a pretty, well, let's just say it was a fast move down. And we saw kind of a fast move up today. But outside of that, there was really no trading to be done for the most part the last couple days. I think everybody's waiting for some more earnings to be reported, maybe some economic news to come out. I don't know what's really going to move it here. Intel reports tonight, so I've got my little screen up here, kind of watching it to see what happens with Intel earnings and if anything substantial comes out of that. I really expected more volatility early in the week, and I talked about it last week and even on the weekend. That usually the volatility happens Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and it kind of starts to dry up Thursday, Friday. And we really haven't seen much for volatility. I mean, not in the sense that I'm talking about. Yeah, volatility. We had a quick move down yesterday and a quick move up today, but nothing substantial, and as of such, nothing's broken in any of the indices. Still have to be neutral to bullish where we're at right here. The bears aren't dragging anything down. They don't seem wild to take control quite yet, and so maybe tomorrow gives us our volatility day where we're actually going to see a real move in the markets. But I watched a lot of techs today. I watched a lot of stocks just flip through chart after chart after chart. Most all of them were sideways. I did pull out a few nuggets to look at during the course of a week, but really nothing that really stands out and says, "Hey, look at me." So let's break into the markets here. Take a look at what we're seeing and what we could see maybe, the levels that we're going to be watching here over the next couple days. Here's the Dow on a 60-minute. It broke this level right here, came all the way back down, touched this support line here, and now is kind of just consolidating sideways, getting itself into a triangle, really. So we're watching to see which way that triangle breaks out. Anything above 9,900 on the Dow would be bullish for the near term on the 60-minute if you're day trading. So anything above 99 is what you're looking at. Below this 90, boy, I'd have to see it get below 98.25 ultimately to really get more bearish on the markets, at least in the short term. Jump ahead to the daily, and you can see here left kind of a we've got a couple of dojis up here towards the top of the move. I mentioned yesterday that even though this could be a potential reversal candle here, I need confirmation. I certainly didn't get it today, not with the candle that it left here. This is actually more bullish to me than bearish. It's just kind of a high base again, more of what we've seen in the past. We run up for a number of days in a row, get these little topping candles here only to run back up. Topping candles, can you see all these little candles in here? All have these big inverted hammers, if you want to, hanging man candles, I guess, if you want to call them that. More of it up here, more of them up here. Just the market's just not able to really move things to the downside. So what we're seeing here is still a bullish move in my opinion. And still looking for that break above that 9,900 area. Ultimately above 9,950 would be obviously very bullish for the Dow right now. The NDX, you can see here, same thing, move down, consolidating sideways, waiting for a move down below 1725 or above 1740. Ultimately 1750, 1755 would be a huge bullish move for the NASDAQ. But I haven't seen it in the stocks. I've been watching Goog. Goog reports Thursday. I really expected to see a move up in Goog, and wow, okay, I guess we did get a move up in Goog, but it was very choppy, especially towards the end of the day. Very choppy action in Google. Apple, same thing. I think it's more in a bull pullback right now, but it certainly isn't, screaming to new highs yet in anticipation of its earnings. NDX still holding on to this dotted trend line here, looking for it to get up and above all this area here, but it is bullish in the near term, but unless it gets back up over this dotted line, it's still a bearish formation that I see happening here. This is still very bearish. So this really, as I said, needs to get up and over 1755 to get pretty bullish at that point. Weekly, we're only 2 days into it. Not going to worry about that yet. And there's nothing to look at. Just a tiny little doji right now. SPX, same thing, moved down right back into support here on this trend line, consolidate sideways. This 1075 and 1080, I asked my subscribers today if they were tired of me talking about it, because that's all I've been mentioning, because that's the 2 points to watch. 1075 and 1080 are acting as extremely strong resistance on this bull attempt to the upside. Maybe the bulls are consolidating for one big blast through it. I don't know, but certainly not what we've seen in the past, where the bulls weren't really able to be contained for more than a day or two, and they just pushed past every resistance point that came in their path. Now this is really starting to give them fits right up here in this 1075 to 1080 area. So we're still watching those two levels. Above 1075 goes to 1080, above 1080, 1085, and then above that to 1100. Otherwise, about every 5 points on the way down, you can see there's some sort of a line or a moving average or something that's potentially going to act as support on the way down. So we'll continue to watch that to the downside. This move down, consolidate and look for a breakdown. Gets below maybe 1065. That would probably be good back to the 1060 area. Otherwise, as I said, 1075, 1080, 1085, and 1100. SPX on a daily, right back up into 1075 resistance, as you can see here. Had a push through it yesterday and a close above it at 1076. Now today we had a push to the lower side, but bulls brought it right back up to 1073. So not a lot of movement going on here. Once again, sideways consolidation movement. Good day to do anything else but trade. Not a whole lot going on in the markets equity-wise as well. Most of them all move sideways. If you're day trading and can manage the trade and you're at your desk, there have been opportunities. I managed to play Apple up and down a little bit today, pull a few dollars out of it just to at least make myself feel good about the fact that I did something today. But there really isn't a whole lot in the way of major dollars being made, unless you caught something like STAR broke out hard today. And of course, I didn't have it on my alarm list, but had been watching it for a while and got away from it. Anyway, it doesn't matter. There'll be other plays. Not worried about it. VIX on a daily, right back down here to this 23 area. Finding that to be very, very staunch support for the VIX, but we are still below the 200-week moving average. The week has not closed out, so we'll see how that all turns out later on. If the markets move up, they break that 1075, then 1080, then 1085 area, start to test 1100, watch for the VIX to get back down here to 20. That would be a very logical place for support on the VIX if it gets back down. Apple 60 minute. This is